You're in the middle of or just starting a weight control program that is one of the most effective programs in the world. I'm Richard Gebhardt, and on behalf of SyberVision Systems, I'd like to congratulate you. In choosing the SyberVision program, you have committed yourself to an important effort to change your body and your lifestyle. Your efforts may already be well underway, or perhaps this tape is your first initial step. Whatever your progress so far, we're going to help by pushing you a little closer to your goal. In this program, we'll provide the guidance and support you'll need to be consistent and optimistic throughout your efforts. We're going to encourage you when you have doubts. We're going to inspire you when you feel unmotivated. And we're going to remind you of all the other people, real people, people just like you, who successfully completed this program and in doing so changed their entire lives. You've already taken the most important step. You've selected a weight control program that is effective, safe, and based on the most advanced scientific principles available. This program is the result of many years of extensive research and testing. It incorporates the findings of countless studies on the human body and how it stores and burns fat. SyberVision first made these results available in our best-selling audio cassette program called The Neuropsychology of Weight Control. In this program, we incorporated two amazing conclusions from recent scientific research. One, that your body has a weight-regulating mechanism that has a set point that actually decides what you will weigh and then stubbornly tries to keep you at that weight. And two, that the set point cannot be lowered through dieting, only through certain lifestyle and nutrition changes. Therefore, only by giving up dieting can you begin to attain a lean, healthy body. These revolutionary new theories in weight control are so powerfully effective and have brought such success and joy to so many people that SyberVision has produced this video cassette to follow up on the principles in our audio program. It provides you with a quick, simple review of the dynamics behind the one weight control program that really works. From now on, you're not alone in your efforts. When you feel isolated, when you feel your convictions fading or your hopes giving way to despair, just put this tape on. It is your own personal support group, your private fan club, your best friend. We at SyberVision know you can do it, and we won't give up until you know it too. Life is change. All around us are forms and shapes that are in a constant state of modification and transformation. No structure is permanent. No structure is exactly the same from day to day. The entire universe is in a perpetual swirl of creation and recreation. People who are dissatisfied with their lifestyles or their body shapes often feel a sense of hopelessness and futility. If you're obese, you may think it's impossible to be anything else. You may think the changes you desire are too radical, too difficult to attain. You may feel that destiny is blocking you, that nature is against you. But take a look around you. The evidence is to the contrary. Nature is not against you. Nature is on your side. Millenniums of history are on your side. Change and transformation were the origin of the universe, and they are the energy which still sustains it. To change is to be in harmony with nature. To change is to fulfill life's purpose and promise. When you decide to alter your shape, internally or externally, you are automatically supported by the force and power of natural law. Do you think it's unnatural and rebellious to want to change your form? Look again. There's only one condition in the world that is unnatural, and that's to remain static and unchanged. In fact, it's impossible to do so. You can change your form, but first you must understand the laws of change. First of all, change, even in nature, doesn't exist for its own sake. Every metamorphosis occurs because it somehow improves an individual, a species, or an environment, because it leads to growth, learning, adaptation, or a richer potential for beauty. Every time a shape is transformed into another shape, there is a process of change that involves different steps and stages. The clearest example of this is the butterfly. To attain its beautiful form, the butterfly goes through stages of transformation that parallel the stages you will be going through too. This transformation happens in 3 stages. The first or beginning stage of change is the caterpillar stage. This stage is characterized by awareness and motive. The caterpillar is aware of a sense of restriction or limitation. It has an instinctive drive to go into a cocoon stage. Somehow, it knows that its present shape is temporary and insufficient and must be changed. The second stage is the cocoon stage. It is the stage of knowledge. The caterpillar has prepared by choosing the right time and place for its cocoon, and now it awaits the right time and place to emerge. The third and final stage of change is the butterfly. This is the transformational stage, when a new shape or form emerges. It is accompanied by a new sense of freedom and lightness, of beauty and adventure. The first two stages are the process. This stage is the product. The first stage of change is one you probably recognize already. Like the caterpillar, you are aware of a need to change. You already have reasons and motivations for changing. It helps to remind yourself of those reasons, of just what it is about being a caterpillar that is keeping you from living a full and rewarding life. To begin with, obesity has a tremendous impact on your mental and emotional well-being. Overweight people have a high incidence of psychological problems like depression, anxiety, irritability, fatigue, insecurity, guilt, and low self-esteem. Problems like these can be far more crippling than physical ailments.
Over the course of many years, I've noticed that if there's one common denominator among overweight people, it's their feelings that they're not quite adequate, that even though they may be very successful as a dentist or as an accountant, they know that there's a part of their life over which they have little control, and they feel very inadequate. Their self-esteem is really low in that one physical area. Some of the symptoms of low self-esteem would be a lack of ability to deal with challenges. They tend to feel that they can't do it, and yet they demand so much of themselves that they're not able to do as well as they could if they had the self-confidence and their own feelings of self-worth.
I won't look into the mirror. I've trained myself not to look in the mirror. It's because it is really a downer overall to cope at times with the guy who has the jowls. It's a shock every time I see it in the barbers where I'm checking, and I saw he's got bad lighting. That's what I'll say to myself as I'm sitting there, even though I'll be able to go home half an hour later and say, I've done it again. I've lied to myself and I've blamed it on the lighting. And it's really not his lighting. Come on, face up to it.
One of the most frightening effects of obesity is the toll it takes on your health and emotional well-being.
The reason that most medical doctors are interested in getting weight down is that we believe that being overweight is associated with a higher incidence of high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, things like gallbladder disease, things like arthritis, especially wear and tear arthritis on the big joints, the osteoarthritis. Psychologically, there seems to be a lot of problems too, because most overweight people struggle with some problems. 2/3 of them are depressed, 3/4 of them are irritable and don't sleep well at night, and have problems with preoccupation with food. 85% of them have that problem. Probably well over 90% have a lot of trouble with fatigue. And certainly most of them are suffering with tremendous amount of guilt because society has taught them that if they were just in control and would just simply keep their caloric intake down, they would be thin like everyone else. And they often believe that and have failed enough times that they have this tremendous guilt. And society views them with a jaundiced eye that, hey, if you were in control, you wouldn't have that problem. And so they have trouble facing people, have trouble in their interpersonal relationships in many cases.
Besides the dramatic physical and mental problems brought on by obesity, there are a host of other problems that seem trite on the surface, yet they have a radical effect on your lifestyle. When added up, their sum is far greater than their parts. Consider clothes, for instance. To many people, fashion is an exciting and creative means of self-expression. They like to play with fabrics, designs, and colors. But to the obese person, buying and wearing clothes can be embarrassing and depressing. Your body shape may not permit you to wear the styles or colors you like. Instead of being able to focus on expressing your individuality, you may have to focus instead on what is most flattering, least offensive. You may even have to shop at special stores or in special departments that offer less in selection and more in humiliation. Obese people also have an unhappy relationship with food.
The typical person that uses various low-calorie kind of dietary regimes gets progressively more and more tired and weak and lethargic, and then they'll eat and try to get themselves feeling better, only to feel much more guilty and out of control. Then they go on another diet, and this sequence of being on and off different diets tends to cause a yo-yoing of the weight, where the weight will go down a little bit and then up a lot more and then down a little bit, up a lot more. And generally speaking, these people tend to get not only fatter, but tend to get more tired, more depressed, more irritable, and certainly much more guilty and much more a sense of failure, a sense of being out of control, and certainly very much hungrier. Food becomes the preoccupying thought in their whole being, and they think of that as being a character weakness, when in reality it's just control centers attempting to get them to stop starving themselves to death.
People who are overweight also restrict their own ability to take pleasure in outdoor sports. Because their energy is low, because they are awkward and unable to complete certain movements, and because they are embarrassed to be seen in public, they curtail their own activities. They don't swim or water ski or snow ski or bicycle or engage in any of the other activities that their companions take such joy in. We've summarized some of the key reasons that you may want to change your body, to move on from that bulky caterpillar stage to the graceful freedom of the butterfly. You may have other reasons. If so, write them down. Keep the list nearby where you can refer to it often, or better yet, memorize it and review it whenever you need to be reminded of why you need to change. By now, your goals seem pretty clear, and it's equally clear that they're well worth the work. You've passed the caterpillar stage and entered the cocoon stage. The cocoon stage relies on knowledge and your ability to be patient and persevere. You have the knowledge in the simple guidelines provided in the SyberVision program. As you progress through the program, you should review these guidelines and make sure you haven't forgotten any details, that you are following them to the best of your ability. Evaluate your success in each area. Eat a wide variety of wholesome foods on a regular basis. In other words, don't starve yourself. Don't restrict your food intake, but eat wholesome foods instead. If your body is supplied with all the vitamins and nutrients it needs, your starvation center won't be triggered and your set point is free to lower itself. Eat when you are hungry. Try to eat at least 3 times a day and feel free to snack whenever you're hungry. But stop eating when you're satisfied and eat only recommended foods. Reduce your intake of fat. Fat is unhealthy and it prevents your set point from being lowered. Only 15 to 20% of your intake of calories should be in the form of fat. If you are unsure about the fat content of foods, there are many books and charts available that can help you. Reduce your sugar intake. Sugar raises your fat thermostat, triggers hunger, and causes numerous health problems. Check the sugar content of what you eat and remember to read labels. Prepared foods often contain hidden amounts of sugar. Increase your intake of complex carbohydrates. They are healthy, filling, and do not affect insulin levels. Complex carbohydrates include whole grains, vegetables, and fruits. Drink water. When you're thirsty, water will give more satisfaction than beverages and soda, without the calories and sugar. Also, learn to distinguish between thirst and hunger. When you think you're hungry, try a glass of water first and see what happens. If you're still hungry, eat. Exercise effectively. Exercise lowers your set point and changes the enzyme system so you burn more fat. It also releases chemicals that will make you feel happier and more positive, thus more likely to stick to your program. But you must exercise every day, starting with 20 minutes a day and working up to an hour. And you must choose the right kind of exercise, the kind that uses large muscles and rhythmic activity, such as walking, riding a bike, or swimming. Finally, hold on to your vision of what you will become. Keep that picture of you, the butterfly, always before you. All the world's great achievers in any field of endeavor have been driven and sustained by a clear, vibrant image of what they intend to achieve. Write your vision down or record it on tape. Fill it with detail and rich color and refer to it over and over. These 8 simple principles are your keys to success. They're easy to understand and convenient to follow. You may be doing very well at a few of them, less consistently well at others. The important thing is to keep trying. Soon, with the patience and determination of the caterpillar in the cocoon, you will see results. Gazing at a delicate butterfly, we wouldn't suspect that it actually underwent a vigorous battle to achieve its freedom. But it did. It had to beat and beat its wings against the walls of its cocoon, in an exhausting attempt to tear down the barriers which surrounded it. Yet even this painful and tiring process has its own reason and reward. For as the butterfly beats its wings, they become strong and dry and ready for flight. If the cocoon were simply cut open and the butterfly released, it would be unable to fly and it would die. During the cocoon stage, you, like the butterfly, are developing new strengths and abilities that will serve you later in life. Thousands of people have already achieved this. They have attained the weight control they always desired by following our guidelines, by persevering through the challenging phases of change. They are people just like you, people who have tried to diet for years, who thought they had no willpower, and who felt overwhelmed by the task ahead of them. Yet they started at the beginning, like you, and they went all the way to a successful end.
I weighed 237 pounds before I started the program. After I finished the program, I weighed 184 pounds and lost 53 pounds during the process. It was a great feeling to get through that and to know that I accomplished the goal that I initially set out to, and it gave me a great feeling to be at that particular weight that I'd set.
Whenever I heard of a new diet or a new diet doctor, I was there, and I tried earnestly. In fact, at one point in time, I went into a hospital as a guinea pig and lived on 0 calories for 3 weeks. And I gained weight during that time. I weigh 346 pounds. I have literally been dieting since I'm about 13 years of age. My mother wanted me to be a minimum of 135 pounds, and I've never made it. I have never achieved until now.
Before I started the Neuropsychology Weight Control program, I weighed 186 pounds. I have lost 23 pounds and now weigh 163 pounds. I felt a lot more energetic. I think I tended to sleep better. I'm in a very high stress occupation, and I think I just felt like I was able to handle stress a lot easier at work. I was just healthier and happier in general.
It took a little longer. I didn't get rapid results right at the beginning, but and it was harder. It was harder. I couldn't just pour some powder in a glass and drink that, or take a pill or something like this. It was harder, and I had to change my way of eating more and my way of thinking. But once I got the hang of it, then it was really nice, and it did stay off.
This is a program that will change your whole life. It's changed my whole life. I couldn't believe I could do this. If you said this to me 4 months ago, that your life is going to be totally changed, I would have told you were crazy. My self-esteem has just shot up. I'm a happier person. I like to be with people. I like to talk, and it's just been really great. It's opened up doors for me.
I went to my doctor's office for one of my regular visits, and he sat me down. We talked seriously about my weight because was having at the time some severe problems, and he said, if you're sincerely interested in losing weight, he says, I have to recommend this particular program. He says, it's one that I follow myself. He says, it's very effective. And he says, it does cost some money. He says, however, it's an investment, and if you're sincere, then I really want you to get involved with this. Before I started the program, I weighed 291 pounds. And I've been on the program now for 9.5 months, and I weighed 164 pounds, so I have lost 127 pounds on the program.
One of the things that I was excited about is I found myself going down 8 sizes in my belt size. I was wearing a size 44 belt when I started on the program, and now I'm wearing a size 36. And that helped with my feeling good about myself too, although I had to go out and get myself some new clothes, but that wasn't all bad either.
I do recommend it to others constantly. I think that if I had taken this kind of thing seriously, I would have never let the weight get completely out of control, because I found that the more I dieted, the more I needed to diet, and the less I ate, the more I weighed. And it was just a back and forth thing that I was never under control, even though I felt like I was eating very small portions. And I understand now, that your body adapts to whatever you're giving it and learns to function on that few of calories. So it's an excellent program. I think probably one of the best because they stress exercise and they stress good, sound, nutritional eating habits. It's not a crash, you know, cut all these things out of your life forever thing. It's just a very sound, nutritional program.
These people and many others have changed their bodies, their images, their entire lifestyles by following the SyberVision weight loss system. They came out of the caterpillar stage when their own limitations threatened their happiness, and they endured through the cocoon stage when results were not obvious and steady patience was required. These people knew that change was possible, that improvement and refinement are a part of natural law, that to stay as they were worked against nature. They changed, and so can you. As they changed, they learned what the butterfly already knew, that change is not always easy and painless. It's easy to get bogged down in the cocoon stage, to feel like your efforts are futile and nothing's ever going to change. But these people came through it, and you can too. Try following these simple do's and don'ts that will help you avoid rationalizations and disappointments. Be patient. Don't expect a quick fix or a miracle. Although you may start losing fat right away, it could take weeks or months before you notice changes in your body. But unlike diet programs, these changes are long-lasting. Set realistic goals and don't compare yourself with others. Everybody has a different body structure, a different genetic background, a different metabolism. Your body will find its own level and shape as you progress through the program. All you need to do is accept yourself, accept your own personal potential and your own achievable ideal. Don't let a mistake stop you. If you eat the wrong food or miss a day of exercise, it's no reason to give up. Like the emerging butterfly, keep on fighting. Don't let yourself get depressed because you make an error. You're trying to change your entire lifestyle, and a slip now and then is to be expected. A slip only becomes a failure when it causes you to give up. Don't let others tempt you. Some friends and family members, well-meaning or not, may try to change your mind. They'll offer you the wrong foods or persuade you to skip an exercise, saying this one time won't hurt you or that you've been depriving yourself too much. Don't listen to them. Some are envious, and your own efforts at self-improvement are making them feel insecure and guilty. Knowingly or not, their efforts to sabotage your program are designed to make them feel better, not you. Seek support and encouragement. You can create your own support system by recording how you felt before the program and keeping a journal of the progress you make along the way. Then when you become discouraged, you can refer to the way it was before you even started. You can seek the company of people who understand and support your efforts, and you can try to enlist a friend or spouse to share the program with you. If you're finding it hard to change, it's because part of you must give way before the new you can be born. Old habits and ways of thinking, attitudes and feelings you may have held for most of your life, routines and patterns of behavior, all must change for you to realize your dream. And just as your body has self-defense mechanisms, like the set point, so does your mind. It protects you, as it should, with its own defense mechanism, something we call the psychological set point. In every way it can, your mind is going to resist change. During the cocoon stage, when you're trying your best to be patient and dedicated, it's going to try its best to block you from achieving your goals. It's going to tell you things that aren't true and deny the things that are. You've probably already seen the evidence. You're probably aware of many of the negative attitudes, the inferior self-image that is working to hold you back. This part of you, the self-defeating, complacent part, is the part of you that must go. If you're having trouble controlling the psychological set point, remember that the greatest part of the battle is awareness. Learn to recognize defeatist attitudes and rationalizations as soon as they appear. Here are some of the most common ones. I don't have the time. You don't have the time for what? To be healthier, happier, more beautiful? Once you've settled into the lifestyle of this program, the only extra time you will need is an hour a day for exercise. Almost everyone has an hour a day that is currently being used unproductively or which can be rescheduled to include exercise. How about one of those hours you watch television, or the extra hour of sleep you know you don't need? Diets don't work for me. True, diets don't work for most people, but the Neuropsychology of Weight Control is not a diet. It is designed to avoid all the pitfalls of dieting, particularly deprivation and starvation responses. The SyberVision system is not meant to be a quick fix. You can find those anywhere. It's meant to last. It builds slowly at first, picks up speed, and gives results that can last a lifetime. My life is too stressful right now. The principles in this program may help you cope better with the stress in your life. The stress you feel now is probably compounded by your eating habits and sedentary lifestyle. It's just the way I am. I have no willpower. Don't judge your willpower on past experiences with traditional diets. Diets work against you. This program works with you. And it's just the way I am is one of the most dangerous comments anyone can make. It eliminates all possibility of growth, learning, and success. You are no way except the way you choose to be. And remember, though your basic body structure and metabolism may be genetic, obesity itself is not. No matter what your family members look like, no matter how long you've been overweight, it's not just the way you are. You can change. I feel deprived without sugar. It makes me feel good. Sugar doesn't make you feel good. It gives you a quick temporary lift that leaves you feeling worse than before. Over the long run, it makes you feel more fatigued, less alert, even weak and dizzy. And if passing up a donut makes you feel deprived, consider how deprived you really are by your weight problem. You can't wear the clothes you want. You can't feel attractive and confident in public. You don't have energy to do what you'd like. You have to worry about health problems, and you avoid activities and situations that others find fun. That is deprivation. All of these personal statements and more can prevent you from pursuing a weight loss program that has the potential to make you happier than you've ever been. The ability to control your weight and to shape a body more suitable to the demands of life is a quest for change based on the most positive and productive motivations. To many people, the most exciting reward of completing the SyberVision Weight Control program is their new physical health. To others, it is mental and emotional health. You'll feel more attractive, more confident, more controlled, and therefore better able to enjoy life.
You know, one of the most interesting examples of success I've ever encountered was at a lecture I was giving last year. Following the lecture, a fellow came up to me, and he was lean and tan and looked very healthy and was such an impressive fellow, and he asked me if I remembered him. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I meet so many people, I just don't remember you. And he said, good, because the last time you saw me, I was not the same person I am today. And it turned out that he'd been to a lecture the year before about weight control and had followed the principles very carefully and had lost from 265 pounds down to 164 pounds, just a little over 100 pounds in that year period of time. It was interesting as he began to lose weight and to develop exercise potential and to get fitter. He felt so well, he started training for a marathon. And between the time that he had heard this lecture, he had lost the weight and felt so well that he began to run, preparing himself for a marathon, and actually run several marathons between that last year and the time he came to me. And of course, this was a miracle in every way, because this person was a different person in every way, physically, than he was the year before. And he told me later that he even felt better emotionally, and that he had more success in his work, and that his family life was happier since he had made a change in his physical life.
Probably the thing that motivates me the most in helping people lose their weight is when they come back in and they've lost weight and they're happy and they feel free and they know that they can stay on this program for the rest of their lives. It's not just a short-term, I'll try this for 3 weeks and then we'll be through. Sometimes I work with people for many months, and over a period of months to see the subtle changes in their relationships with their close loved ones and at work, developing of talents, and all those things are very satisfying to me.
We love to see these folks because it's really exciting to see them change from someone who is hungry all the time and feels tremendous guilt and feels terrible physically and emotionally. And then when you get them eating adequately, satisfying their needs, everything changes. They begin to feel good about themselves. They begin to feel in control. Their hunger is under control now, and they have just normal response where they're hungry when they haven't eaten for a while, then they eat in control and feel completely satisfied and don't even think of food for a number of hours. After a few weeks of this, they begin to see some real changes. Their energy goes up, their anxiety diminishes, they're coping better with their stresses, their headaches go away if that's a problem for them. And in most cases, the depression begins to lift. and they start feeling very, very good about themselves and very good about their circumstance. It's a marvelous change. And compared to the old days when we used to starve people and spend our time trying to console them and encourage them and support them through these terrible problems produced by dieting, now we don't have to do any of that because the patient is so excited and so up from feeling so good.
The improved self-image that comes with a weight loss often makes people more sociable. Because you'll feel more attractive and self-assured, you're likely to be less shy, less negative, more friendly and outgoing. The physical benefits of maintaining an appropriate weight are as varied as the individual, but everyone notices something. People who have lost weight often report fewer headaches, better digestion, and improvement of a variety of ailments, including arthritis, insomnia, and diabetes. More importantly, the lifestyle changes suggested in this weight control program have a proven effect on those three big killers: heart disease, high blood pressure, and cancer. Even if you don't have indications of heart disease or high blood pressure, even if cancer isn't a concern to you, the physical effect of weight loss that many people celebrate is the new way they feel. You'll have more energy and vitality. You'll be able to do things you could never do before, to share in new activities, to last longer at old ones. Suddenly, it is fun to buy clothes, and even more fun to wear them. You can go through your closet and throw out all those baggy pants and loose shirts, that sack-like dress, the jacket with the vertical stripes. You can experiment with new patterns, new lines, brighter colors. Your relationship to food will also change. And that change can make life a lot easier, a lot more pleasant. You won't feel hungry all the time. You won't be victim to strong cravings and sudden binges. When you do eat, you won't feel guilty or weak. Instead, you'll be able to enjoy food, to go out with friends and family and share their pleasure in food.
One of the exciting things is to see them get over the constant hunger, where they're eating plenty, where they're getting harmony with their drives, where they eat until they're satisfied and then go 3 or 4 hours with no hunger whatsoever, which is really an exciting thing for someone who has lived with hunger almost every moment of their waking life. And of course, we see the weight go down and we see their confidence improve. When they used to think of themselves as being out of control because they got hungry, which is a natural phenomenon, they now are being in perfect control. They're able to eat what they want and stop, or correction, at least eat the healthy things, eat enough of it, eat enough to satisfy hunger, and then they're able to be in complete control of that. They don't overeat anymore. They don't have these guilt feelings. They start getting enthusiastic about their situation.
I feel just 100% better than I did before. I've got a lot more energy at the end of the day. I find I can bound up the stairs 3 at a time instead of finding myself winded at the top. It made a real difference in my life.
It makes me feel more in control. My mind isn't continually thinking about, I need to lose weight, what am I going to eat, what shouldn't I eat. I have time to think and do other things now.
They'd feel better about themselves, not just weight-wise. My self-esteem has just shot up. I'm a happier person. I like to be with people. I like to talk, and it's just been really great.
It makes you feel healthier. It makes you feel more motivated in life. In the morning, you know, when you used to feel like you could barely drag yourself out of bed, there's a much stronger feeling of energy for the day. It makes you, once you get eating in this way, it becomes natural. You come to desire that, you know, the different kinds of foods that are included in the diet, which are all wonderful, healthy things, desirable things. There's nothing awful to have to eat. And then the exercise becomes just part of your everyday, and you have a desire to do that and keep that going. And so it's just kind of like a wonderful life's program.
There are a lot of good reasons you're committed to this program. Think about them. Now, how many good reasons do you have for staying overweight? Thousands of people before you have learned what you're about to learn yourself, that change is possible. It is within reach, that changing forms are a part of life, that to change is to be in harmony with nature. Like the caterpillar, you are aware of your need to change. You already feel driven, motivated to do so. You know how to change. You know why you want to change. And you have overwhelming evidence that many people just like you have achieved the changes you too desire. You know what dangers to expect and how to handle them. And you know how to seek encouragement and support. You know the cocoon stage will seem long and hard sometimes, but that the struggle to emerge will strengthen you for your final metamorphosis. You know all you need to know. You have the knowledge to do it. There is now nothing that needs to stand between you and your goal. In only a matter of months, you can emerge as the new shape and form you've dreamed of becoming. You will feel vibrant and free, and as beautiful and fit as nature intended its children to be.